one on TNT 1. I guess that's what they're calling it. The first one on TNT. The main event, Adriano Moraes, Demetrius Johnson. The co-main event is the Muay Thai fight. Probably not going to do that one. Just the MMA fights that are on here. Eddie Alvarez, Lurie Lapicius, Tyler Maguire, Ryman, Mago Medalliev, Umar Khan, and Mehdi Bargi. Let's look at Umar Khan and Mehdi Bargi first. We're going to go up the list. So Umar Khan, 2 wins, 0 losses, 29 years old, 6 foot 4 inches tall, a very tall, lengthy fighter. Has a lot of power in his hands. We don't really know much about him right now, other than he has a lot of power in his hands. We haven't really got to see if he has the grappling, if he has the wrestling, if he has any of those type of things. But he does have a little bit of a wrestling background. As he did get the takedown against Alan Ningalani, then got that first round TKO win, and then that second round knockout right there. All you really need to know with Umar Khan is he has a lot of power in his hands. Then Mehdi Bargi, 4 wins, 3 losses, has lost a lot of his fights by knockout. Coming off a first round knockout loss to Ji-Won Kang, before that getting a first round submission, first round knockout win, and then 2 other ones right there. His other 2 losses coming by unanimous decision. But he has been knocked out in his last he has been knocked out in his last professional fight instead of one championship. But Umar Khan, he's way too powerful, guys. If you guys have seen any of this man's fights, I mean, I just watched that last fight with Ali Lingani. I mean, he's just so powerful, man. That right hand, if that right hand connects, it's like Ngannou. If that right hand connects, he's gonna stumble you and knock you out. And I think that's exactly what's gonna happen in that fight between Umar Khan and Mehdi Bargi. After that, we have Tyler Mcguire and Ryman Mago Medalliev. This fight is a middleweight fight. Tyler Mcguire, 12 wins and 1 loss, but he is 35 years old right now, so not really sure how old the Ryman Mago Medalliev is, but Tyler Mcguire is getting up there in his age, 35 years old, but has a really good record, 12 wins and 1 loss, the 134th best middleweight fighter in the world. He is the underdog in the fight, 22% going for him to win the fight, mainly by decision, and then 78% going for Mago Medalliev to win the fight, mainly by KO, TKO, 7 wins and 1 loss. First knockout win right here over an undefeated fighter in Edson Marquez. An amazing knockout win right there. First on guillotine over Joey Pierotelli, if I'm saying the name correctly. Lost only 1 professional fight to James Nakashima. First knockout win, second knockout win, second knockout win, first on armor submission win, and a decision win. I mean, the man's an absolute beast. Only one of his fights going all the way right here at the beginning of his professional career. I mean, he has a lot of power in his hands. 4 knockout wins, 2 submission wins, and 1 decision win. And he is a younger fighter. We don't really know how old he is. It doesn't really show how old he is, but I know he's definitely not 35 years old. I'm pretty sure he's like 28 or 29 years old at the time of this recording. So he's gonna have the age advantage. He's gonna have a little bit of a height advantage. Not really sure his reach. If he's gonna have the reach advantage over Tyler Mcguire in the fight. But Tyler Mcguire, 35 years old. Decision win right here. Decision win. First on submission win. First on Kimura submission win. Likes to get a lot of submissions in his fights. 1 knockout win in his professional career. And then 7 submission wins. So, in my opinion, I think this is more of a submission, a grappler, wrestler type of guy. And Tyler Mcguire facing Ryman Magomedov, who has so much power in his hands. And he's going to go out there and try to get the knockout in the first or second round. Tyler Mcguire, his only professional loss coming by knockout around 2.5 years ago. Ryman Magomedov, most of his wins are coming by knockout. It's so much power in his hands. But Tyler Mcguire has really good submission skills. If he gets out of the ground, can possibly get a submission or win the fight by unanimous decision. Getting a lot of control time, getting a lot of ground and pound. Then going for submission. But Ryman Magomedov, I mean, he has so much power. Not really sure what the betting odds are for this fight. Let me see if... Yeah, they don't really have the betting odds for the fight right now. Let's see. Yeah, they don't really have the betting odds. Minus 140, and then Tyler Mcguire is at plus 110. So it's a really close fight according to the betting odds. A pretty 50-50 fight. Could go either way. And that is my opinion as well. If Tyler Mcguire can get the fight to the ground, he's most likely going to get the submission. If Ryman Magomedov can keep the fight on the feet, he's most likely going to get the knockout. So, in my opinion, most likely there's going to be a finish by submission from Tyler Mcguire or by KO TKO from Ryman Magomedov. And I think this fight is going to stay on the feet. And Ryman Magomedov is probably going to land a really good right hand like he did in his last fight against Edson Marquez, an amazing right cross knockout. I think this fight's going to be pretty similar to those fights, and I'm going with Ryman Magomedov to win this fight by second round at TKO. I think it's going to be a dominant TKO win in that fight. The first round, I think he's going to win the fight in the first round. The second round, he's also going to win the fight, so I think he's going to dominate the fight on the feet, defend the takedowns, defend the submissions, keep the fight on the feet, and getting knockout in the first or second round. And then we have Eddie Alvarez, 30 wins and 7 losses. The man is an absolute beast. Join the UFC, let's see. joined the UFC, joined Bellator. He was at Bellator 1 back in 2009. First round submission win, third round submission win, second round submission win, second round submission win, second round submission win. I mean, all these wins are coming by submission back in 2009 and 2010. They got a second round doctor stoppage, a decision right here over Pat Caron for the Bellator lightweight championship. Then lost his fight to Michael Chandler, who was undefeated at the time, by fourth round rear naked submission. After that, first knockout win, decision win over Michael Chandler, one of the best lightweight fighters in the world at the time, and is about to fight for the lightweight belt inside of the UFC. After that win over Michael Chandler, joined the UFC in 2014. Lost one fight to Donald Cerrone, came back with a lot of wins over former champions and Javier Dos Anjos, Anthony Pettis, and Gilbert Melendez by split decision and then first knockout. Then fought Conor McGregor after getting the belt against Javier Dos Anjos. Fought Conor McGregor. You guys already know what happened. He got dominated and lost the fight by by second round knockout against Conor McGregor. After that, he had a no contest against Dustin Poirier. Not really sure what happened there, due to an illegal knee. Got a third round knockout win over Justin Gaethje. Lost one fight to Dustin Poirier. Went to one championship. Lost one fight and then got that first round submission win. It's been a while since his last fight inside of the UFC, inside of one championship, inside of Bellator. He hasn't been fighting in quite a while. His last fight 1.5 years ago. He is 37 years old, 5'9" inches tall, has a reach of 69 inches. So a little bit of an age advantage for Lurie Lapicius in the fight. No height advantage, no reach advantage or anything like that. But Lurie Lapicius, 14 wins and 1 loss. Really, really good submission skills. 10 submission wins and 4 knockout wins. Zero of this man's fights are going all the way. Every single one of this man's wins is being a finish. Then one loss by KO TKO. I think this one is gonna be a finish, 100%. Let's see the betting odds for the fight, minus 240 for Eddie Alvarez, and then plus 190 for Lurie Lapicius. As we all know, Eddie Alvarez has really, really good submission skills. 16 knockout wins and 8 submission wins. So in his recent career, he's been going for the knockout. But at the beginning of his career, showed he has really good submission skills, really good grappling, really good wrestling. And Lurie Lapicius, his main game plan in most of his fights is to get the fight to the ground and go for submission. Get the fight to the ground over and over and over again. That is his main way of winning his fights. Submission win right here, submission right here. That's how he wins the fights. He takes the fight to the ground, goes for the TKO, goes for the submission. That is what he does. But Eddie Alvarez has really good submission defense, has really good takedown defense, and most likely, if he keeps the fight on the feet, is gonna win the fight on the feet. I think this one is gonna be a striking fight, even though Lurie Lapicius has really good submission skills. I think the fight is gonna stay on the feet, and Eddie Alvarez, man, is gonna have the striking advantage over Lurie Lapicius in the fight. And I think he's gonna do really good on the feet, and I definitely see why they have him as a minus 240 favorite in the fight, because in the grappling game, he's definitely a little bit better than Lurie Lapicius, and in the striking game, he's also a little bit better than Lurie Lapicius. So wherever the fight goes, the wrestling, the grappling, the jiu-jitsu, the striking, the kickboxing, the Muay Thai, I mean, literally all around, Eddie Alvarez is the better fighter, and I think there's a high chance we see a finish from Eddie Alvarez, or we see a finish from Lurie Lapicius in the fight. I don't know how he's going to finish the fight in this one, but I'm going with Eddie Alvarez to get a knockout in the first or second round, or to get a submission in the second round. Most likely, it's not going to be a submission. Lurie Lapicius has 2 good submission defense, so I'm going to be going with Eddie Alvarez to win the fight by second round TKO in this fight, after a 1.5 year layoff from one championship. And yeah, so far I have Eddie Alvarez winning his fight, I have Ryman Mago Medalliev winning his fight, and then I have Umar Khan winning his fight. And then in the main event, guys, this is a really good fight. Demetrius Johnson and Adriano Moraes. He's 77, the best bantamweight fighter in the world. 18 wins and 3 losses. Demetrius Johnson, 30 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw. Not really sure why they have him as the 32nd best bantamweight in the world. I mean, they have him under guys like Jack Shore, Brett Johns, Davey Grant. They have him under guys like this. Not really sure why, because he's a former champion, has not lost since he lost a belt into the UFC. 30 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw. Lost a fight by a split decision against Henry Cejudo in a fight. Most people thought Demetrius Johnson won the fight. It has not lost since. Second round submission win right there. Decision win right here. I mean, in my opinion, he is still a top 5, top 3 even bantamweight fighter in the world. I mean, he's still a young fighter in his career right now, 34 years old. Not the oldest fighter in the bantamweight division right now. Adrian Moraes in the prime of his career, 32 years old in my opinion, 5'8" tall, a little bit taller, has a little bit of a reach advantage, a little bit of a height advantage over Demetrius Johnson. But Demetrius Johnson, my God, there's no way. I mean, come on, right now, you guys cannot tell me that you guys are gonna go with Adrian Moraes to win the fight. There's no way. There's no way you're going with Adrian Moraes to win the fight because Demetrius Johnson, his only 3 losses to Henry Cejudo by split decision. Go way down. Dominic Cruz by unanimous decision, and then Brad Pickett by unanimous decision. Those are his only 3 losses. That is absolutely insane. Beat Ian McCall, beat Joseph Benavidez, beat John Dawson, John Moraga, Joseph Benavidez again, Ali Baguntinez, Kyoji Horiguchi, John Dawson again, Henry Cejudo, Tim Elliott, Wilson Hayes, Ray Borg, lost a fight to Henry Cejudo, and the 3 wins inside of 1 championship. I mean, dude, what can I say, man? Demetrius Johnson, all around, is an amazing mixed martial artist. Probably one of the top 5 mixed martial artists, pound for pound of all time. Inside of UFC, inside of Bellator, inside of 1 championship, wherever you look, this man is at the top of the charts. 30 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw. 12 submission wins, 5 knockout wins, and 13 submission wins, or 13 decision wins. I mean, man, in the striking game, he's going to have the advantage. In the grappling game, he's going to have the advantage. In the wrestling game, he's going to have the advantage. I mean, dude, there's no way I'm going with Adrian Moraes. I think Demetrius Johnson is going to dominate the fight wherever the fight goes in this one. I think Demetrius Johnson is going to win the fight, probably by finish in the 3rd round. But if the fight goes past the 3rd round and goes to the later rounds in the fight, I think Demetrius Johnson is going to win the fight by 50-45. I think he's going to win every single one of these rounds and win the fight by unanimous decision. But if you guys forgot some of those predictions, I have Demetrius Johnson winning his fight, I have Eddie Alvarez winning his fight, I have Ryman Medalliev winning his fight, and then I have Umar Khan winning his fight. So those are my predictions for 1 championship, 1 on TNT 1. But yeah, those are my full card predictions for 1 on TNT 1. Should be a really good fight card right here. I cannot wait for the main card to happen, the co-main event right here. It is a Muay Thai bout, but it's a really good Muay Thai bout. And then we have Eddie Alvarez, we have Ryman Medalliev, we have Umar Khan, we have so many amazing fights on the fight card. I cannot wait for these fights to happen, but those are my full card predictions for 1 on TNT 1. But yeah,